Hi, I'm Kathryn Selig Brown, curator of Protecting Wisdom book covers from the MacLean Collection. I have spent almost 30 years studying Tibetan art. I have a PhD in Tibetan art history, and I'm so excited to see these book covers up in a museum exhibition because as far as I know, this is the first time there's been an entire exhibition dedicated to this subject in the United States. And I'm going to talk today about one of my favorite covers in the collection with very mysterious carving that I or anybody else I've shown the cover to have yet to figure out what it means. So this cover has many inexplicable details, such as the carving to either side of Prajnaparamita. So you have the Buddhas of the 10 directions, 5 to either side, but the background behind them differs. The Buddhas to the left are seated upon lotus stalks. There's a beautiful lotus stalk brimming with buds and Buddhas. On the right, behind the Buddhas, are just random foliate forms, and the Buddhas are floating in space. And underneath Prajnaparamita as well, instead of her usual throne, are 2 different types of foliage. To the left, you have a very wide curving foliage, and on the right, you have smaller compacted forms. Again, I don't know if these refer to 2 different teachings or were just placed there to entertain the viewer. Some of the most intriguing elements on the covers are the Vyalas, the composite beasts that prance on either side of the 8 symbols of good fortune. The Vyala on the left has a larger head, he has larger horns, he has a thicker body, and the emblem on the end of his tail is different from the Vyala on the right. He also has this fabulous figure hanging off of his back. He's grabbing on for dear life, holding on to his hat as if the wind was going to take it away, and he's wearing a Tibetan robe, a chuba. And I just love this figure. He adds an element of delight. So the paint and the gilding that are on this cover are probably not original, and where there's blank spaces, there was probably a lot of painted details. And this reminds us that these book covers are simply what's left of the books that were destroyed during the Cultural Revolution. The pages that were protected by these books are long gone, but we can sometimes figure out what texts were in there by who is depicted in the center of the cover. For example, this cover, because Prajnaparamita, the goddess of transcendent wisdom, is depicted, it's likely that it once protected a Prajnaparamita text. But I do want to press home the fact that this carving was rarely seen by anyone because it faced the manuscript pages, it faced the Buddha's words, and these carvings were only seen briefly, momentarily, when the book was opened before the first manuscript page was placed down upon them. So when you come see Protecting Wisdom, I hope you take time with a magnifying glass to look at them in detail, because otherwise you're going to miss all of these fantastic details that were put there, I think, for the monks' amusement and the people who were reading them.